up, guys? This is Brian at Whisper Status 74. This video is about the Vizio Quantum XP series, and I wish that the title of this video was clickbait. Unfortunately, the Vizio is dead. I've had it for a few months now. I've championed this display since its launch in July. It took me a long time to get it. I finally got it a few months ago and have been putting out content on it steady since I received it. And it is no longer functioning. I took videos, which I'll edit into this video to show you exactly what's wrong with it. Before I actually show you that footage, I'll tell you what's wrong with it. But first, this video, or this channel, I should say, was created as in 2016. I had, ironically enough, 2 Defective Vizio P series. It was my first foray into 4K, which many of you are just getting into now. This is why the channel was created, was having defective panel after panel after panel after panel. I did a video a few weeks ago about habitually returning TVs and mentioned that there was some hypocrisy in that video. That was never about returning TVs that you don't like, in terms of me bringing these things back. Defective panels, the panel lottery, which I'll do another video on, obviously, in a few days, and what it actually means is the defects on these TVs is staggering. Now, not Vizio, all of them, but I wanted to clarify that this is a defective panel. It's going back. Costco, I have 90 days. I still have to the end of March to bring it back. So I wouldn't be bringing it back in early February if it wasn't broken. And some people are going to be very happy that Vizio failed here, but if there's anything that I'm grateful for is that it failed here. I'd rather have things like this happen to me than to you. Being a content creator, this display from the very first video that when I purchased it, was going to be probably sold to my buddy Paul, my buddy Cody, or my buddy Jim. Paul, who was in the video where I ended up picking it up, was looking forward to it. The idea was to get it, enjoy it, and then probably sell it to one of those guys. As a content creator, I'm always going to buy new displays. I don't agree with buying them, reviewing them, and returning them. I just don't feel that, especially at this size, I just don't agree with that for myself anyway. Plus, it's incredibly difficult walking into these places and returning your TVs. So I get that out of the way. I have footage of why it's not working. I'll show you exactly why it's not working even here, but I'll show you the other day when I literally turned it on. So the operating system in these displays isn't great. We've all known that Vizio and a lot of the other companies are a little bit behind in regards to that. But what happened was there's a few times where with this tiny remote and even the SmartCast on the phone that you would turn it on, the light indicator in the left-hand corner would illuminate and then nothing would happen. Typically, when the TV would illuminate, that indicator, there would be a Vizio symbol up top. And that would take a second, and then the TV would just start right up. Other than that issue of where occasionally that illumination would come on and the TV wouldn't launch, it would require me to either restart the surge protector that it was attached to, or even go as far as unplugging it from the display. So before having one of my buddies buy it, I wanted to make sure that that wasn't an issue. So the other day I came downstairs, which is part of the video you're going to hear because I'm behind the camera for that one. I went to turn it on and same thing happened. It wouldn't turn on. It didn't happen often, by the way. It didn't happen often at all. And I was like, okay, well, let's unplug it. So unplug it, unplug the power adapter from the actual display, give it a second, and nothing. I knew there was something wrong when also the Panasonic, this Blu-ray player that I have, that was connected to it wasn't saying it was connected to anything. It was immediately when I would power it on. Once it sensed the display was off, it was kind of saying goodbye too quickly, knowing nothing was playing. So I knew that the display wasn't receiving anything. So unplugged it, plugged it back in, did it several times, waited. I actually contacted Vizio when this first happened, when I first bought it, and they just mentioned that it might be a power issue. And when I called them, of course, it turned on. So I figured it was just, you know how these things are, computers. I cannot get this thing to start. So I did a power cycle, which you unplug it from the wall, take the adapter out, hold power for 10 seconds, re-enable it, put it back in, turn it on. What happens then is that the indicator blinks twice, then the Vizio part comes on, you think you're in good shape, and then it all powers off again. So clearly something's wrong with the power supply. Now what you'll see here, even as we are live, is here's the remote. It's plugged in now to the surge protector below it. You should be able to see the power button come on in the corner. You'll see the indicator there. Vizio comes on. And it doesn't always stay on, that indicator. And it shuts off. And that's about the extent of it. So even if I try to power it back on, nothing. Indicator doesn't turn back on. So, oh, there it goes on now. So the indicator light is on, the Vizio comes back on. Got the remote in my hand. And typically here is when everything would power on and nothing. What's interesting is during one of the videos that I showed you, the audio was still playing, which I didn't know what it was playing because nothing is hooked up to it. Now we're behind the camera and we'll show you how it happens in real time, or what happens in real time. Now here's the remote. Using the SmartCast as well, which is actually on this device that I'm filming with. I've tried that, it doesn't work. But this happened several times. I've turned it or tried to power it on, reset it through the, the surge protector, unplug it, plug it directly into the wall. Typically, the best way to fix it is to unplug the display itself, which has an interesting plug. That's a corner plug. It goes in deep to the TV. It's not easy to unplug. So what you're going to look for is in the corner, left-hand corner, you're going to see the power button turn on. Here's the power button. You're going to see that light up. And you may or may not see the Vizio thing come up. There it is. That blooming is just the camera, and it's not fluctuating like that either. So it would typically cycle on right here. And then you'd see your inputs. Now here's the input button here. And it's doing nothing. Volume, you can see the remote trying to do it. Channel, nothing. So we're going to do it again. Power. It'll light up, but you won't see the Vizio signal this time. Now, this display gets nowhere near the use that any of you guys would be using it for. I have two displays down here. I use all of them. I don't use TVs as much as my main display. I have a plasma upstairs and a projector upstairs. But I have to report or show you guys that this is an issue. There it goes. And in full fairness, I'm actually selling the Vizio and my Sony 900E. And unfortunately, I can't sell it unless I figure this out. Now, being on the phone with Vizio, the typical stuff as far as hard reset, powering it off, powering it on, I'll do the hard reset and show you guys how to actually do it on TV without the remote. And we'll see if that helps it. But it was the same, power it on, power it off. And that was before it was this bad. I contacted them before this. And they want to send a tech out, but if you're in your return window, guys, you don't send techs out to your house. And now, there it goes. But I'm actually looking to sell this. I can't sell it to a friend if I can't get this basic function to work. Otherwise, the TV's been fantastic. But unfortunately, this has been the knock on companies like Vizio, TCL. Here's the remote again. Making sure I'm not turning it off. Left corner. And now it's not even, oh, there it goes. There's a signal. Keep the remote in my hand. That's it. Nothing. So I'll hard reset the TV. We'll do a video connected to this one in the next segment. Okay, guys, here I am behind the camera again. The TV's actually on. there's nothing happening. There is no turn the TV on function. But there was audio coming.
So I'm used to doing
there it is.
dance, which is very much
there's audio coming out of the TV, but there's nothing connected to it. So it's definitely smart casting something. The smart cast isn't working from my phone. Spoke to customer service. I'll cover that during the intro of this video as I re-edit it. But, you know, here I am with the volume. Turning it off. What I'm going to do now is also shut off the light to show you that the TV is on. Local dimming wise, you'll see some haloing from the local dimming. And I'll show you there's nothing going on behind the TV. But nothing's hooked up to it. So we get to the back of the display. There's nothing connected to it. So as we shut off the light here, you're going to see the local dimming. You can see the halo. Actually, I can turn the light back on. Sorry about that. You should be able to see that the local dimming is still on. You see this little bit of haloing here? So in closing, this video will be a little disjointed, but it's going back. Spoke to Vizio customer service, ran through their protocol as far as powering it on, powering it off. They took control of the display, found the serial number, power cycled it, and nothing. So even my personal information is still on the display. If it was defective, like some of the other displays that I had with dead pixels or screen uniformity, I'd have been able to at least erase my stuff off it, but they've assured me that the power cycle that I did at least reset the display. You heard in one of the clips, the audio was still playing in the background. I have no idea. None of my stuff is connected to it now. It's been plugged into everything it can reach. It's been plugged into plugs out there. It's been plugged into different surge protectors, into the wall, into different plugs. This room has a lot of power. It runs everything. Everything else was shut off. But it is unfortunate. It's unfortunate for Vizio, TCL, and Hisense. These are brands that I've championed and want to succeed. And though it's a downer, like I said before, it's better that it happens to me. It's unfortunate for my buddies that my buddy Paul, who's going to help me pack this bad boy up, was going to be the one probably that was going to buy it. It's going to be a little bit hard for me to recommend this to him, but I will say this to you guys. In the panel lottery that started this channel, having all the panels that I had, all the defective panels that I had, probably Samsung, or definitely Samsung, was the one that I had the most problems with. And I still continue to recommend them to this day, because this is just a small sample size of what will happen with Vizio. I still recommend Samsung. The Q90R is my favorite LED this year. I recommend it every day, even though I had 6 or 7 of them that failed that are much more expensive than the Q90R. That's still a small sample of the population of how many displays are out there. So I can't condemn the brand itself going forward. I'll still be recommending them. It's just a little hard to recommend them at this moment. I'll do a full review on the Vizio. I've seen enough of it to give you my thoughts on it. I'll do that separately. Obviously, reliability is going to be an issue with it. But it is a sneak peek into spending 3 or 4 hours that I'll never get back. Not testing it, but trying to get it to work. Unplugging everything, replugging everything in, power cycling, trying to find if it's the equipment. It's just time. It's a day that's gone. And that's not the day that's gone as a creator, as somebody who does content. That's never a waste. So for me, none of this is a waste. But for the average person, which I am the average person, but for the person that's not making a video or a channel, that day's gone. That's a Sunday, a Monday. That's your day that you spent and got nothing from it. Customer service, spoke to them. They were very nice. They did not drag me through it. They had me try to power it on. Again, took control of the display. They're willing to replace it or have it repaired. Ironically enough, I was filmed a C9 with a big line through it, which was going to be this whole panel lottery video I was going to do, that it happens to everything, even the C9. And she has an LG IPS panel with crazy flashlighting. Did that video to then have this thing fail. So the panel lottery, we'll do more videos on it. There are a ton of videos on the channel on it. Please check those out. But it is a lottery. It is an unlucky lottery. And for a display that I barely use, I don't use this anywhere near as much as you guys. I might be repeating myself as these videos have been disjointed. To have it fail, this is their highest end display. But it doesn't mean I won't recommend them in the future. Same with Samsung. It just takes a little while for me to get over, you know, kind of what happened with it. I've afforded this display since July. And I'll do a full review on it. Like I mentioned before, I can still give you my opinion on its performance. The thing that kind of sucks about it, though, is being a power supply issue. Even if it was a screen issue, I could show you. You know, other than just powering this thing on and seeing it not do anything. You know, if at least it had a dead pixels or screen uniformity, I could show you. I could even get more content on it. For those of you who think I might be bringing this back just to bring it back, it doesn't have to go back until the end of March. It would be ridiculous for me to bring it back in the beginning of February. And it will take hours to pack this up and put it back in a truck and drive it a half an hour back to where I got it. It's an arduous process. Again, the goal was to have friends of mine buy it. That was going to be kind of the goal with TVs in the future, is buy displays, spend some time with them, sell them to some friends, sell them to family, sell them on Craigslist, who knows. But, you know, I would say this, though. I would not buy a Costco from anywhere but, or buy a Vizio from anywhere but a Costco or a place that has a very comprehensive return policy. You know, 90 days, you can't beat that. But had this been Best Buy, I'd have been on my own. I would have been, well, actually Best Buy probably still would have been okay because I'm an elite member there. I had 40 days. But they were going to replace it. Obviously, I don't believe in replacing TVs that I just bought, ever. I don't agree to have displays worked on that I just bought. It's going to go back. To me, typically, if something's wrong, it'll keep being wrong. My friend Michelle with the C9, she did have the panel replaced. They came out yesterday and actually took down the panel, replaced it. It is an OLED. You'll see that video in the next few days when we do a comprehensive video on the panel lottery. But as of right now, the Vizio Quantum XP series didn't make it. And it sucks. It sucks for the brand because that's what I really wanted this brand to succeed. And not just have a channel that focuses on just elite displays. I'm not interested in that content. I'm interested in covering them all. I have some Samsungs at my friend's office that we purchased that I want to do that are only $300 each. To me, these brands are fascinating, but unfortunately it did not work out with the Vizio Quantum XP series. Paul, sorry. I'll be seeing you tomorrow or the next day to pack it up. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you have the Vizio Quantum XP series, what do you think about this? Do you think that you'll give it a chance? But I have to be honest and report everything that's happened with it. I'll do a comprehensive review on it. Unfortunately, I can't show you anything, but you know that I've had it and I've enjoyed it. And I have actually enjoyed my time with it. Selling it wasn't going to be easy. But like I said, I'm looking to sell my 900E and move on to newer products because I do have a channel. But it is a shame that this thing just didn't make it. All right, guys, let me know what you think in the comments about the panel lottery in general, what TVs you have now, and the Vizio Quantum XP series, which unfortunately just didn't make it. All right, guys, I'll talk to you soon. This will be going back in the next few days. You won't see it again on the channel, unfortunately. The videos that were in between this one should have showed you me powering on and off. I'll be editing them together. But I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you as always. I'm a little under the weather, so forgive me. And I'll see you in a few days. Take care.